Welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. And I hope you're doing well. You're having a good day wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show. And whatever you may be doing, and that's none of my business. You know, you could be driving, who knows? How are we doing around here?
I do know we have a lot of people that are at work when they listen to the show.
That's true. On their computers or handheld devices and whatnot. Yeah, we are coast to coast, including Hawaii, and we're global. Have you been tracking us, Gary, on that company's website that we hired?
Yes.
How are we doing lately on the streaming of the show?
It's about the same. It depends. It goes up and down. It shows the influence of what's really going on in the world, of who's watching.
What are we averaging? 30,000 hits a day?
About 30,000. Yeah.
On the stream.
On the stream.
And then, of course, we're terrestrial as well. How many movies have been made about terrestrial, this and that? We are terrestrial. We're in, I think, talking to Joe Spera at the Largo event where I did an appearance there for a meet and greet. And we're somewhere around 63 markets now.
63.
Across the U.S.
Added one the other day. We did a commercial for them.
Yeah. Up in Seattle, right?
Yes, Seattle.
Yep, we're coast to coast, as I told you. So we have that going on. Big platform, lots of people. We love it, and we're connected to the, social media. And a lot of people track us that way too. And here's how to connect to the show. Here's how to, we love the conversation with you.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. Anywhere in the world at 813-636-8255. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition, all one word, on the Twitter at LTN Radio. And don't forget Dr. Garko's personal emails, Dr. Garko, one word, at letstalknutrition.com.
I wrote a series and then did a republishing of it. I think it was a 10-part series on cardiovascular health. And when you do that kind of project, you end up learning a thing or two, for sure. But, what's interesting here, coronary heart disease has been the leading cause of death for decades and decades in this country. And it has improved, but it's still the leading cause of death. And oftentimes, the first symptom of coronary artery disease is death. You have a heart attack or a stroke, and you're done. It happens. And there are more than a few pharmaceuticals to take. To lower cholesterol, this and that, whatnot. I mean, it is a giant business. Billion dollar business. I'm just talking about heart disease. There is a genetic component, no doubt about it. But the lion's share of the variance for heart disease is accounted for by diet and lifestyle. It is. Now, it is possible to eat and live healthy and you still plaque. I'm turning a noun into a verb. You shouldn't do that. You can still build up plaque if you live long enough. Plaquing typically occurs where the pressure points are, where there's a lot of pressure on the artery. Okay? That's a pattern that's been observed. Now, you can live for a long time with coronary artery disease, and you can live for a long time and not even know you have it. That's the problem. It's a silent killer. It is a silent killer. There have been athletes in premier shape who have artery disease, and while running or doing some event, have a heart attack and drop dead. Everybody's shocked. And this is not a new phenomenon. This business of CAD, if you will. It is a CAD, boy. When you look at the remains, whether it's the Iceman, Utsi, or the remains of some pharaoh that was found in a tomb someplace here and there, and the different historical, what the archaeologists and medical anthropologists, that evidence, it's been with us as a species almost since our inception, it seems like. We are vulnerable to it. And, given the way we eat now and the way we live, it's amazing. And the reason why the rate of death due to heart disease has gone down, it's not because people are eating and living better. It's because of medical science. Getting quadruple bypass surgery and balloons stuck in your artery and this and that. I mean, they're keeping people alive. That's fine. That's wonderful. And certainly cancer is there at number 2. And the lion's share for cancer is diet and lifestyle. It's environmental. And I'll tell you one more time, diet is the leading cause of chronic disease and premature death. When you build the causal chain, you could list smoking, stress, all the variables, and then going to a heart attack. But diet, when you build that regression model, diet, for sure, will account for most of the variance. Now, if you smoke, you drink, you're exposed to toxic chemicals, that doesn't help matters either. And sometimes those will override even a good diet, and you'll develop heart disease. So today, this is all by way of setting up for my guest today, a new guest on the show, whose first name intrigues me because his first name is what I did for a long, long time. Could you guess what that might be? His name's Mattu. And I was sitting here with Gary, and I said, and I misunderstood him. I said, would you say Mataz? And I said, and he said, no, Mattu. And I said, I bet that man has heard that more than once. Some smart accent. What is that, Mataz? What does Mataz means anyway? What's that? Jazz.
No, I Googled it and I couldn't figure it out either.
Don't give me into that Mataz or. It's an interesting name. I've never spoken with the man. I don't know him, and this often happens, and that's okay. It's all good. I love it. We work without a net. So he's a first-time guest on the show. We love having. He has great credentials. I was reading his bio. He's a medical herbal practitioner, and he's up there in British Columbia. And apparently, he's been doing this a long time. We'll talk to him. We'll find out what's on his mind. And he's an educator for Strauss Naturals, and they have a pretty nifty little supplement. Can imagine relative to heart disease, cardiovascular disease, heart health. Let's put it more optimistically. So we're excited. We'll talk to Jazz, and maybe we'll play some jazz during the break too. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, jazz and all, coast to coast and globally.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. you will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Figure's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. And if you just tuned in, we have a new guest today, Jazz Mattu. He's an educator for Strauss Naturals, and he's a medical herbal practitioner. Resides somewhere up there in British Columbia. Never met Jazz, so I'm going to do it now. Jazz, welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. It's great to have you on.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Hey, good, doing excellent, thank you.
Got to ask you about your name, man.
Sure. Yeah, it is Jazz. It's Jazz Mattu, and I do often get the Jazzmatazz as you can imagine. So that does often happen. And also having 3 grown-up children that are all phenomenal jazz musicians and a music studio in the house. We're a musical family too, so I guess that connection is definitely there.
Wonderful. There's a term razzmatazz as well, which is like razzle dazzle. But how did you get the first name, Jazz?
Well, the full name is actually Jazzbear Mattu. So Jazz, or the abbreviation, and the short has always been that. So for many years,
okay,
just grew with that. And then obviously, as a teenager, got involved with music in the music industry, and that sort of name also became my sort of AKA music name at the same time. So, but yeah.
How do you spell your first name, full name?
It's Jasbir.
Jazzbear?
Yes, that's correct.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And Mattu, what is the part of my training is in linguistics. So the origins of Mattu, the ethnic
originates from India. So my parents are originally from northern India, from Punjab. Myself, born and raised in the UK. They emigrated to the UK, in the late 50s, early 60s, and so I was born and raised there. Lived most of my life and studied there, and moved to Canada, to Vancouver, British Columbia, around 22 years ago.
Pretty cool.
So you can probably detect the British accent.
No, I can't. Not at all.
No, I thought you was from Connecticut.
We thought you were from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. This is just by way of introducing you to the audience. You've never been on the show, and you're an expert in all that, but you're also a person, and you have a history, and you have a narrative, and that's part of it too. Jazz Mattu, great name, man. That's a great name.
Thank you.
My daughter, as we speak, is in Mumbai right now. Be there for 3 weeks working. She has some clients. She's a virologist. She has her PhD in virology and has her own company now and is consulting with a pharmaceutical company in India. So she'll be there for 3 weeks.
Excellent.
I was looking at your bio, and medical herbal practitioner. Explain me what that means.
So my training is primarily in herbal medicine. So my background's in human sciences, going through college and university in the UK, and then went on to study a 4-year program specializing in herbal medicine, in phytotherapy.
Good.
So the 4-year study is very much, there's a strong science foundation, there's a strong human anatomy, pathology component to it. So the way in which we train is primarily very much like regular medicine, learning the basics of anatomy, physiology, pathology, diagnostics, and then other than the latter part of the course, which all focuses on pharmacognosy, botany, botanical medicine.
I see.
And the whole philosophy of actual holistic healing, natural healing. So the term is coined in the UK as a medical herbal practitioner, because as you can imagine, there's many people all over the world that practice herbal medicine, from folk medicine to modern medical herbal medicine. So that term basically comes from there, that someone who's got some strong medical or science behind it.
Good. Excellent. That's excellent. Let me just get your take on herbs for a second. This is what's called a softball pitch. Listen, herbs, the plants.
Yep.
Why? Give us your best take on why herbs, the plants generally, are central to our survival.
Since the evolution of our world, plants have been around from the simple sort of protozoa and simple algae that have existed for millions and millions of years. These have been known for centuries and centuries to heal people. People have taken food as their medicine, as quoted by Hippocrates, and so they've been around for many years. plants that are around us. Plants do have some amazing, amazing properties. I mean, at the end of the day, there are chemicals in there. These are plant chemicals. And all of these plant chemicals, whether they're tannins, alkaloids, saponins, resins, all of these do impact the body. All of them have a physiological action. All of them aid in some way, in the body. And that can be from a cup of tea that we have in the morning and the effects of that, to the coffee bean plant that we drink on a regular basis, to chamomile tea that helps to put us to sleep, to peppermint tea that eases our digestion. So plants have been around for many years, and I'm sure they will be. And even if
without the plants, the planet would not survive. And I always remind people there's only one letter difference between the word planet and plant. And without the plants, we wouldn't survive either. But I find it extraordinary and somewhat concerning that in many ways, in some cultures, and in some food cultures specifically, like in the U.S., we've darn near abandoned the plants. We'll be back.
Battling sinus, bronchial disorders, allergies, and other seasonal irritants can be a constant struggle, making this the season when you need Oreganol P73 the most, nature's most powerful natural remedy. Get the blast of wild nature you need with the only wild Mediterranean oregano extract, Oreganol P73 from North American Herb & Spice. After being tested, both the USDA and the FDA agree Oreganol P73 is powerful. North American Herb & Spice knows it's powerful as well and knows P73 is just what you need. When you take P73, you'll experience its cleansing power. You'll smell the fresh mountain-grown aroma and feel its effectiveness. The Greeks used wild oregano for their health, not just spice, and called it Oroganos, the delight of the mountain. Oreganol P73 is 100% wild, hand-picked Mediterranean oregano. Do not accept cheap imitations made from farm-raised or non-oregano species. Use Oreganol P73 and stay healthy all year long. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. If you can't stick around for the entire show, catch up with us later on your phone using the iHeartRadio app. Look for Let's Talk Nutrition under podcasts.
Ron Diaz here, inviting you to tune in every Monday morning on 1250 WHNZ at 8 a.m. Total Vitality Radio. That's with my good friend Dr. Brian Wolstein. I'll join him to discuss the latest in health, medicine, and fitness. That's AM 1250 WHNZ, 8 a.m. every Monday.
The Ford year-end sales event is here. Now with 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 cash back across a full lineup of Ford vehicles. That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now with exclusive holiday offers. Get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 Ford credit cash across a full lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best selling based on 2016 sales. Not all buyers qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $13.89 per month for $1,000 finance regardless of down payment on cars and SUVs. 72 months at $13.89 per month for $1,000 finance regardless of down payment on F-150. Not available on Ford GT, Fiesta, Focus RS, Mustang GT 350, 350R, Raptor, or Super Duty. Take new retail delivery from dealer stock by November 30th, 2017. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for complete details.
It's time for the Morgan & Morgan Legal Brief.
A firm's mission statement defines your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We take very seriously our obligations to our clients, many who come to us in their most desperate hour. Our mission is you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
If you're an expert in your industry, you know it's hard to tell people how you can work for them in a short elevator pitch or a text or a tweet. What if you can get them to spend a few minutes with you and develop a relationship? You could have your own radio show and let people get to know you, trust you, and bring your business into their lives. We are iHeartMedia Tampa Bay. It's a good time to call 813-832-1968 and explore this one-of-a-kind opportunity. Call 813-832-1968. That's 813-832-1968.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum
down payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people with credit card debt. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, the first step is yours. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-499-4310. 800-499-4310. That's 800-499-4310. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number DC 32.
Heavy traffic now on northbound I-75 from before Fowler Avenue to past Fletcher. Reports of a crash now blocking at least 2 lanes. Also delays now on northbound I-75 near State Road 60 and a crash in St. Pete on northbound 275 near 22nd Avenue now off to the side. For more real-time traffic updates on your route, download the new Total Traffic app powered by Traffic Karma. And when you see traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council. If you get caught drinking and driving, your social life stops, but your friends' social lives won't. Buy late curfew, buy parties with friends, buy freedom. Go to ultimatepartyfoul.org to make sure you don't get left behind.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. High today, warming up to around 80 degrees and a nice afternoon as we get the warmer temperatures back. Tonight's low down to the lower 60s. We'll see a sunshine and a few scattered clouds. Impact Radio, 1250 winds.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb and Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Mattu, educator for, Strauss Naturals. It's a Canadian-based company. They've been on my show for a number of years. They were a sponsor many years back and have returned. And this is the first time Jazz has been on the show. Jazz, welcome back. In light of my setup for the show, talking about coronary artery disease, and then your little take and narrative on phytonutrients, plants, chemicals in them, and so on, turns out that garlic can be something that is used in how can I put this, in promoting better cardiovascular health, yes?
Absolutely. Garlic for many, many years, from centuries, historically has been used as a food, as medicine, to help and aid with various different conditions, from common colds to cardiovascular disease.
Is garlic technically, you're the herbal specialist here, is it technically an herb or a spice, or don't you make a distinction between the terms herb and spice?
No, definitely. I mean, its Latin classification is as a herb. I mean, and it goes into subcategory obviously through culinaries as a spice too. So one can use it like that, but generally speaking, it's termed as a herb.
Okay, and Strauss Naturals has a product that is a garlic product. Can you talk about it, what it is, and what can be expected from the product?
Absolutely. So Strauss Naturals have a phenomenal product called Heart Drops. They've had it for many, many years. It's a herbal medicine formula that helps to sort of maintain cardiovascular health, helps to reduce elevated lipid levels, that type of thing. It's a formula that's been around for many, many years. There's empirical evidence and science-based studies over the past 300 years that have shown Strauss heart drops to be a very, very effective formula. So this formula that's been developed for around 30 years here in Canada, historically this goes back many, many years with the use of herbs like garlic as well as other herbs that have been very, very effective, and this has been documented. There have been science studies supporting that, this particular formula with that. So this is a very Asian and a unique, powerful formula that's been, like I said, been around with the aged garlic as well as other herbs. It's very, very effective for cardiovascular disease.
Is it a liquid, a powder, or a pill?
It's in a liquid form. So many people, I often get asked the question, why is it in a liquid and not in a powder? And to put very simply, one has to understand a little bit of the chemistry that certain ingredients, certain plant chemicals, certain phytochemicals sometimes do require an extraction, and that extraction has to be done with a liquid. Simply taking the plant and putting it in a tea and infusing it and straining that tea and drinking it isn't sometimes effective, because you'll only extract the water-soluble components from there. And being based in a liquid which contains, a small amount of alcohol to extract that as solvent, that is sometimes needed for certain constituents to come out, or the medicine or the medicinal properties to be seen. So it is in a liquid form.
And what's lovely about herbs and spices is their aroma, their aromatic qualities. I happened to stop into a Mediterranean grocery store the other day, and when I walked in the door immediately, it was just like, oh wow, smelled so wonderful in there. These chemicals serve a purpose for the plants, to ward off competitors, predators, pathogens, and so on, to nourish themselves, and they have odors to them, and those odors serve that kind of purpose, right?
They do, certainly. We have to remind ourselves that other than taste, one of our other senses is that of smell, and we know that with the sense of smell and areas in our limbic area and the brain, do have an impact on us. We know that when, like you mentioned, walking into a store or walking into a bakery, or the sort of what we sense and what that initiates in terms of the physiology of the body. We feel hungry. We feel, our senses are telling us that something's going on, and that can be, in often cases, a positive experience.
And garlic has a particular aroma to it, taste to it, this sort of pungent, and used in cooking for thousands and thousands of years. And in the liquid form, the Strauss, you can taste the garlic, right?
You certainly can. Garlic is an aged garlic that's added into this particular formula, and yeah, absolutely. The garlic is one of the most distinct things that people tell us about the formula. It does have a strong garlic component to it, and from a taste as well as a smell. And whilst we know socially that some people aren't comfortable with that, but it's a phenomenal product in terms of its effectiveness. And to be quite honest, a lot of people these days, consume garlic in their diet, and the way that it's metabolized, will lessen that impact in terms of the odor too.
Can you mix the heart drops, the Strauss heart drops? Can you mix it with water? Do you put it under the tongue? If you put a few drops in water, is there ways to do it?
Certainly. Well, it's the tincture. Tincture is the Latin name for the liquid extract of the herbal component. That is designed in terms of, from a dosage, to be taken directly under the tongue, because as we know, things generally absorb better and bypass the liver and quicker into the bloodstream. So that's ideally the best way to take it. However, depending on individuals and their preference, they can certainly add it to a small amount of, warm water and sip it like that. So, yeah, it certainly can.
It wouldn't dilute it or otherwise cause its efficacy to fade, right?
No, No, and we have to remember that when we ingest it anyway, in terms of dilution and mixture with other bodily fluids, those properties are gonna change, and from an absorption
Sure.
and effectiveness. But no, I mean, it's fine to add into water if people,
Sure. And then you could, I suspect you could also use it in cooking, not to heat it up, though. You got to be careful, but you could add it to salad dressings and whatever you wanted to, right?
Certainly, yeah, certainly. And,
Okay.
some people, if they're taking on a regular basis some form of like greens or some type of smoothie or something like that, I mean, it
could mix it.
If need be. And I often have people saying, I really just, can't tolerate the smell or the taste or whatever. I want to take it. I need to take it.
Yeah,
but,
and there are ways to...
sometimes I'll just recommend that. Well, if you're taking if you're taking a protein powder or a greens or...
We'll be right back.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Mattu is my guest today, first-time guest on Let's Talk Nutrition. He's an educator for Strauss Naturals. It's a Canadian company, and they specialize in, I guess, cardiovascular health, in that they have a product called Heart Drops. I'm quite familiar with it. I've known people to use the product, and I know some people who use it who have had cardiovascular issues, coronary artery disease specifically, and they swear by it. Jazz, welcome back. Kinds of testimonials you have heard from people that use the Heart Drops. I'm particularly interested maybe in people or patients who have had heart disease or have it.
Certainly. Yeah. As a health practitioner and as a person who's been running clinics for the past 22 years here in Vancouver, I've had numerous clients that have taken this product and have had amazing results with it. Strauss Naturals themselves have several hundreds of testimonials that come in on a regular basis from people from, predominantly from North America, but from even other areas of the world that share their stories. Personally, myself, I've had people that have been, on medications, whether they're heart medications or cholesterol medications like Crestor or some of the statin drugs. And these are individuals that, that are looking to see what options they have. We've had people with, signs of cardiovascular disease with angina pain that have had, significant reduction in regards to their symptoms and improvement. Some of these have been followed through with, their physicians, with cardiologists, and had, where they've had a general improvement with regards to, their arterial health.
Good.
So there's been numerous testimonials that I could share with you.
But generally speaking, you've gotten good feedback from your clients and Strauss. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, it's important to stress that obviously, with anyone that's taking this form of supplement, it needs to consult their physician, make sure that if they're on medication, they've got that guidance and share some of the information about it. But there are certainly options that I've seen in hundreds of my personal patients who have managed to, in conjunction with their physician, reduce their medication or even come off their medication and are now taking the formula, as well as supporting a healthy lifestyle, exercise, and, eating well, and those types of things. Yeah.
I have to ask you, before you go, because we're almost out of time, is there a particular book on herbs that the viewer or the listener of Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast and globally, would learn a lot from or become intrigued with? That comes to mind, a book that you think would... Think about that for a second. And then the next question is, why is it, if you could share with the audience today, that sometimes phytochemicals are referred to as non-nutritive in nature? Why do they do that? Why do they describe them that way, as non-nutritive phytochemicals?
Well, the phytochemicals, in terms of, because we've got that classification of nutraceuticals, a lot of that has to do with, most of historically when we speak about phytochemicals, what we've spoken about is their physiological properties that are happening with regards to the body. So the emphasis has been put on some of the plant chemicals, the tannins, the alkaloids, the saponins, those and the effects of that. What we haven't spent a lot of time is talking about, not to say that it's not there, it certainly is there, the nutritional part of it. And it is a classic example if we take a herb like nettle, for instance, or even garlic. There's so many key nutrients, from trace minerals to vitamins, that are found in plants like nettle and marshmallow and chickweed and alfalfa. So these. It's not often that we talk about that, but it is important to know that these are definitely.
I was always troubled by that characterization to refer to the phytonutrients as non-nutritive.
Yeah.
In other words, it's not a food. They're not foods. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's up for discussion, but Anyway, I was just wondering, in terms because I get a lot of people ask me about herbs, and is there something they can read? Is there some reference source?
There definitely is. I mean, for a person who has a big inventory of books for the past 30 years through my studies that I have in my library, but there are several. I mean, there's some great books. Some of the books have changed right now, but there are some great titles. So even if they Google people like David Hoffman, who's a herbalist, and I know David personally and was living in California. Whether he still is right now, I'm not really sure. He's written several books. An author by the name of Winston, who again is in the States there, has written several books on herbal medicine. So there are some great. I would recommend some of your listeners that go online, check out some books. A lot of it just depends if you're looking for books. Some of the books are easy manuals that they can have and talk about common things like
we'll probably get you back on. And I just plant people, medical herbalist David Hoffman. I found him quickly. He falls under the category of herbal medicine too. It seems real quickly.
He does.
Yeah. That's a nice lead. Phytotherapy, right? Garlic and Strauss heart drops can fall into that paradigm of phytotherapy, at least in my opinion. Yours?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, plant-based medicine, that's really what this formula is about.
Plant-based medicine. That is as ancient as we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Hopefully we can get you back on because you're a nice resource. Besides being a nice human being, you're a wonderful resource. You know a lot and can share and help to educate and empower people with herbs. And Strauss heart drops been around for a good while. A lot of people use these Strauss heart drops. They're in North America, of course, in fine health stores throughout North America. And we encourage you to give them a try. And please give my best, Jazz, to all the good people at Strauss. Would you please?
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you, Dr. Gaka, for getting me on the show. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to chat again in the near future.
Oh, we will.
Strauss Naturals, we want to thank you for your support there, too.
Absolutely. You going into clinic today, or are you just hanging out?
Oh, no. I'll be going into clinic today.
No, there's no hanging out.
Off to school, and then away I go.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you the next time, all right?
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you. Strauss Heart Drops. Yeah, you want to take care of your cardiovascular health. Again, sold throughout North America, fine health stores. If they don't carry it, ask them to go to their website, check them out, and learn for yourself. And maybe your retailer who has that store would consider putting it into the store. A lot of people I know use it, some with serious heart disease, and say good things about it. We'll be right back.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
to the show.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by today, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing, coast to coast and globally. My guest in this hour is Stephen J. You could get mixed up and call him Jay instead of Stephen. He's with Zint Nutrition. Interesting company. They got some nifty plant-based food supplements. Yeah, got a plant theme, chemical, plant-based medicine theme going on today. It's all good. A little chilly around here in Florida, at least in Tampa. I don't know where you are. My daughter's in India right now, and she told me it was like 90 degrees. So, I just got a text from her. They're, 10 hours ahead of us? She just finished her day. She has a client there, pharmaceutical company. So, this business about plant-based diet, plant-based medicine, plant-based girlfriend, boyfriend, the plants. Boy, oh boy. And you would think that it was somewhat of an alien concept. Speaking of alien, if somebody came from another planet and showed up here in the United States, they would certainly see an abundance of plants. No doubt about it. All kinds of plants. And the edible ones, for sure, was what I'm referring to here. And sometimes non-edible, but the chemicals are used. And then they would take a look at the diet, and they would go around and do a little, observation about what people are eating. And they would notice a paradox. They would observe, my goodness, this species has access to all of these plants with all of these these phytonutrients, these chemicals, but they don't eat them all that much. I wonder why that is. Right? Why is that? Because we've been conditioned not to. That's why. There was a time out of necessity when we consumed them, there wasn't any highly processed foods. Didn't exist. And you were compelled to eat raw food, plants, whatever. But the plants constituted the lion's share of the diet. That has, at least in our culture, except for a few, who practice vegetarianism, veganism, whole food plant-based diet, and whatnot. They're not in the majority, those people. They're in the minority. You go into a grocery store, you're hard-pressed to have ever found yourself standing in line to get broccoli. Go to the bakery, you have to take a number. Right? Go to the meat counter, and you have to line up. Go to the butcher, and you got to take a number. There's no jam up in the grocery section in the where the plants and the fruits are, the vegetables and the fruits are in the grocery store. People aren't stumbling over one another, fighting over the last apple, are they? But you're bumping into people in the aisles all over the place with the carts getting boxed of this and a can of that and a bottle of this and whatnot. All kinds of room over where they're selling the vegetables and stuff. Yeah. We are missing the boat, man. And wherever, and I'm telling you, trust my research. I've looked at this closely. Wherever, and I mean there's not one exception. If you find it, please let me know. Wherever this diet of ours, this way of eating has been imported to a country, they turn into a dumpster fire. Heart disease, cancer, all the chronic diseases, almost within years. You don't have to wait centuries. Starts to increase. Premature death starts to increase. Morbidity all over the place. It's astonishing. You don't need to do a clinical trial. We see it all the time. There are numerous examples now. On the flip side of that coin, whenever we import more plant-based paradigm into our culture, we do better. We do better. Now, this isn't breaking news, but it's by way of making the point. People keep asking, how can I live better? How can I live longer? How can I be healthier? And they keep, Ponce de Leon looking for the fountain of youth or whatever, conducting the search, looking for the holy nutritional grail. You can stop the search. We have the answer. We have the answer. There's some people you couldn't get them to eat a carrot at gunpoint. We know one. He's a detective. Right, Gary? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he says. We're going to have Detective Fritz back on, by the way. Love Detective Fritz. How's he doing? Good? Gary's shaking his head. You can use your mic. Steal it from the intern. Steal the mic from the intern.
We worked out today and we did shoulders and.
You were with Detective Fritz today.
Yeah, every morning. Every morning now.
Did you tell him I'm throwing him under the bus regularly?
Every day he hears, he listens.
He's gonna arrest me, man.
He's like, is that black? He's still driving that black car? I'm like, yeah.
He's still driving that black Beaver.
So,
please have him come back. Please have him come back.
I will. We worked out today and. He actually asked me a question about BCAAs.
Branch chain amino acids.
Okay. When do you take them?
Is that what he wanted to know?
Yeah.
When do you want to know? Take them before or after a workout?
Well, some people say you take them during the workout because they promote the workout. Some people say you take them before the workout. So, and then some people say you take them before you go to bed. So,
or take them all of those times.
Yeah.
Have him come in. I'll give him the answer. That's one way to get him in here. He's afraid to come back.
Yeah, he's scared.
Oh, I hardly think so, man. How many years has he been a police officer?
22.
And he's a detective. He's not afraid of me.
He's afraid of being healthy.
Yeah. No, he's healthy. He's healthy. He's probably one of the healthiest people that I got hired on with.
He's made it this far, boy, and he doesn't eat any plants.
But he takes supplements, though. He knows that his diet isn't what it needs to be.
Woefully inadequate.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about a plant derivative compound today. Camu Camu. Why they say it twice, I'm not sure. But why not just Camu? Stephen J. is my guest. Stephen, I'm going to bring you on real quick because we're going to head into some messages, but I can't resist. Why is it double take on Camu Camu?
Say it twice. It sounds more nice.
That sounds more nice. Stephen J. How are you, pal?
Doc, you write me. Jay, Stephen told me that you wanted to talk about Camu Camu today. Is that okay with Stephen J?
It's nice to hear your voice. Nice to have you on. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. It's starting to get cold here in New York. I'm freezing already.
I know, man. Get your coat on. Gary came in the other morning with a coat on. He looked like, what's the name of that guy in that movie up in the Canadian whatever, and he had that big burly burr coat on. Man, it was a giant coat, man. It looked like it weighed 50 pounds.
Remnant?
We come back. We're going to talk about Camu Camu. Boy, oh boy, there I said it twice. What a interesting nutrient. Come back, you'll find out where it is especially powerful, and I mean powerful.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Stephen J., educator for Zint Nutrition, is my guest in this portion of the show. We're going to talk about something you say twice. Say twice, Camu Camu. Stephen, welcome back. Merceria, that's how the British say it. Dubia, Camu Camu. That is we might even have an image of it, a plant, a small bushy, it's like a tree, I guess, plant, tree. found in the Amazon in Peru and Brazil. You know a lot about it. It's also a relative of Merceria cauliflora, which is they're related, but Camu Camu is that other one, that other Latin name that I can hardly pronounce. You guys are pretty excited about that. You have a product called Camu Camu. What's up? Tell us about it.
What is up is, hey, we're on Let's Talk Nutrition, so let's talk about what we can do to protect and bolster our immune systems to combat the coming cold and flu season invaders. They're on their way, guys.
No, they're here. Ask Gary. He'll tell you he's sick.
I have gotten hit myself. So, of course, doctor, as you always promote, healthy diet and exercise is of paramount importance. All these other things that we're going to talk about, like Camu Camu, these are supporters. But, you're talking about it a little bit earlier about making the choices in the supermarket. I want to continue to embellish what the good doctor said. You're going to have the evil inclination within you pulling you to all the candy and the chocolate bars and the sweet, sugary things. Fight it. Get away from it. Go to the vegetables and the fruit sections. That's your first line of defense. And within that, you've got something that you won't find in the vegetable or fruit section, produce section in the United States stores, but we do have something called Camu Camu. And as Dr. Garko had mentioned, it is found, it's an Amazonian berry. It's found in a shrub in the lowland, swampy areas, the flooded areas of the Amazon rainforest primarily. And these shrubs bear kind of large berries that look like kind of like the size of cherries. They have more vitamin C in them than any other food source on the planet, bar none.
It's true.
Sometimes as much as 60 times more vitamin C than, believe it or not, an orange. And even most people think of vitamin C's coming from oranges and lemons. 60 times more in Camu Camu. We're talking about 1 teaspoon of Camu Camu powder contains 720 milligrams of vitamin C.
One what? One
teaspoon contains 720 milligrams of vitamin C. Now, considering that the average daily value of or requirement of vitamin C, according to the U.S. government, in adults is about 100. You're getting 7 times the amount of the daily value from the U.S. government in 1 teaspoon. Now, the beautiful thing about that is you're getting Camu Camu as a food source in its raw, natural state, the way...
So this is not an extract.
Exactly. It's not created in a lab. It's, or any other, weird kind of way. You're getting it in the way God intended you to get your vitamin C. Not only that, it also contains 2.1 milligrams of manganese, which is over 106%, another also key nutritional element. And it also has about 355 micrograms of carotenoids.
See, these are phytonutrients. These plant compounds, these chemicals are, their medicinal value, their properties are astonishing, aren't they?
They truly are. And you know what? I happen to be, you could stop me if you want to, and I've touched upon it a few times on the show. I happen to be a religious person. And, if you go, whether you're Jewish or Catholic or whatever you might be, if you go back to the Old Testament or the New Testament, if you look into Genesis 1:29, it says, quote, "Then God said, Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed, it shall be food for you." That is what our food is supposed to be. And that's why Zint Nutrition creates nutritional procures nutritional superfoods from real foods to benefit the body.
Do you happen to know how in the rainforest of the Amazon in Peru and Brazil, they use Camu Camu in the diet? Do you happen to know?
Well, it all started back in 1957 when the Peruvian food scientists discovered that Camu Camu possesses the great abundance of vitamin C that it does, and in those areas, the local people utilize Camu Camu to flavor everything from ice cream to juices. So, because this is in a powder format, you can incorporate this very, very easily into your life. You could mix it in juices, into recipes, as they do, into ice creams. It's got a tart flavor to it, as you would imagine vitamin C does. So anything that you want to have a little bit of tartness, a little kick to it, a little sourness to it, that's where the Camu Camu would fit in perfectly. And the beauty of it, again, with Zint, is that we're delivering these superfoods in their raw, natural state in a powder format, not in a capsule, not in a tablet.
Yeah, you have it in a powder. Mm-hmm.
That's going to be difficult for your body to digest, and most probably all of it will not be absorbed. But because we're delivering it in powders that will be able to mix into liquids and also recipes and solid foods.
Well, we'll come back. We're going to get into that. I just want to point out there's a city in the Amazon pronounced Iquitos, Peru, and I was looking, and they say that they eat the Camu Camu with salt when it's still green, and then when the fruit matures, they use it to prepare juices and local desserts, just like Steven said. See how smart he is?
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Maybe you're making a Camu Camu smoothie. My guest is Stephen J. From Zint Nutrition, talking about Camu Camu. Potent, just a potent source, robust source of vitamin C. Stephen, welcome back. I was looking at how people use it in cooking, and I see various ways. They put it in smoothies, baked goods. One source, they were talking about using it in pasta dough, eating it, putting it in sauces, different sauces. One article was talking about tenderizing meat with it and putting it in a breakfast dish like yogurt. They can make ice cream with it.
I've had it in muffins.
Muffins.
Yeah, that makes sense. Baked goods.
Yeah. Do you use it? Do you use the Camu Camu, Stephen?
I do. I put it in smoothies.
How does it taste?
As I mentioned earlier, it gives it a tart flavor and a little bit of a kick, not too overpowering, but that's because of that, heavy vitamin C content that I mentioned as 7 and 20 milligrams per teaspoon. But if you like, if you just want something to taste a little bit more tart, have a little kick to it, then Camu Camu is the perfect thing. And you know what? I'll tell you the truth, Doctor. I'm not so particular. If I know that I'm getting a health benefit out of a powder or some type of supplement, I will just toss it in there anyway. So it doesn't have to taste amazing. I'm drinking it more for the health benefits than anything else.
One article I was reading, they had a nice tip. They say if you use it in cooking, put it in toward the end so that the heat doesn't destroy the vitamin C.
That's a very key point, and I'm really happy that you mentioned that because, as you can imagine, these are berries, and they've got, juice in them, and what we do is we reap the fruit, and then we slow dry it, and we mill it at very low temperatures, probably about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that, to preserve the Camu Camu's amazing vital nutrients in their most pure form, because if you do heat it too much, you will destroy all those vital nutrients that are inherent with the berry.
I heard I read somebody mention using it, putting it on cereal. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on what you're using as your liquid. I know people that don't put milk in their cereal. They put apple juice as the liquid for their cereal, or they might use almond milk or soy milk. So if you're going almond, soy, or coconut milk, I think that you can definitely sprinkle Camu Camu onto your cereal. I think traditional milk, which is terrible for you anyway, is something that you probably would not want to use in.
What about putting it in oatmeal?
Oatmeal, I think it's a great idea to put it in oatmeal. It'll give it a nice little tart kick to it, and you could also mix it up, put a little, as you had said, I think a little bit, just a pinch of salt would probably be good in there, and depending upon if you like something sweet, maybe some agave syrup, or as we sell, some all-natural sweeteners, Yacon syrup.
Yacon syrup. I want to ask you about that Yacon syrup in a second before you leave today. They were mentioning also in this other article to put it on salads and mix it with salad dressings. What do you make of that?
It's all great. I mean, that's fantastic too. I mean, I actually just had a salad. I was in California on a little business trip last week, and I ate in a very high-end restaurant, and I had a kale salad with cranberries, dried cranberries, walnuts, and an orange flavored dressing. So that would go perfect with a salad, absolutely.
Because I get this question all the time. People love the products from Zint, all these different powders, and what they ask me, how do I incorporate it into my day-to-day nutrition, my diet? So I always get that question. And
yeah, well, these are great questions, and I'm really happy that you're asking me them because, these are, I guess, unique and different formats that we're delivering nutrition to consumers at this point that are traditionally used to just popping a pill or something.
Sure. The syrup. I got to ask you, the Yacun, Y-A-C-U-N, is that how you spell it?
Yacun syrup, correct.
Well, I don't know how I remembered that. The Yacun syrup. What is that, and how should that be used?
So the Yacun syrup actually comes from a tuberous plant, not too unlike the dandelions that some of us find in our lawns and stuff like that. Their roots have got these tubers in them that are full of this juice, this syrup that is called Yacun, and that is just squeezed out and minimally processed. And anybody that's out there listening that has diabetic issues or insulin issues, this has one of the lowest glycemic index numbers of any sweetener. I think it's down there around 7 or something like that, and table sugar is 770. And this is something that's just a wonderful flavor. It's something that you can mix into your oatmeal, your smoothie. My kids love to put it on their waffles and their pancakes.
Really?
Yeah, as opposed to...
What was I reading, Stephen? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just did.
Anytime for you, Doc.
What was... I can't help myself. I get so excited. What was I reading about using it as a prebiotic?
Yes, great question. I was going to mention it, but I didn't want to divert, but since you have, I will as well. A prebiotic, basically, that feeds your good gut bacteria. That helps your good gut bacteria stay healthy and strong and propagate within your gut. Now, we're learning more and more every single day about how your gut flora, that means the balance of bacteria that's within our guts, affect our health, well-being, and our mood. They're finding out that they've just done studies that have found out that people that have Alzheimer's have imbalance of unhealthy gut bacteria within their systems. It's a huge thing. And the gut actually communicates to the brain. You know, if the bad gut bacteria will actually talk to the brain.
You know that gut feeling, right?
Eat bad foods to keep it alive.
Sure, the gut feeling. That gut feeling. There you go. That expression comes from somewhere. By the way, the Yacun syrup contains up to 50% fructooligosaccharides, FOS. What is that? That's the food for the bugs. That's the food for the bacteria. They got to eat too, the FOS. That's why it gets hooked up with gut health. It's a fructooligosaccharides, up to 50% of it. And it tastes good too. Man, that's a better option than table sugar sucrose, don't you think?
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
We're back. Here's the LTN health question of the day. We're talking about Camu Camu. And this is an easy one to get today. I stumped the audience yesterday. That's once in a year. It has one of the highest concentrations of A, vitamin A, B, vitamin B, or C, vitamin C. Camu Camu has one of the highest concentrations of vitamin A, vitamin B, or vitamin C. If you have the right answer, you'll want a $25 supplement gift card. That's good. Call the number.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
Hey, Stephen, this is Stephen here as well. Before the show got going, we were talking about what we wanted to discuss today, and you'd mentioned the Vitamin Angels program. I know it's extremely important to a lot of the folks that are involved in that. And is Zint involved with the Vitamins Angel program this year?
Yes, we are.
And what does that entail? I've heard of it before. I know it kind of, I guess it distributes vitamins and health needs to underprivileged countries and children.
Oh yeah, are we live on the radio, or this is a side?
No, you're live. You're live, brother. Come on.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. I wasn't sure. I thought it was like a
he's live, brother. You're hot.
Yeah, well, you know, this is a season of giving, you know, is upon us, and I actually got one of my first discount things for this season. So we believe in supporting Vitamin Angels because they believe in the power of vitamins as a proven solution to reducing global malnutrition. They want to make a holistic and lasting impact, and what they do is they provide deworming tablets for children and promote nutritional counseling for mothers in need. Giving them life-saving vitamins to people you would think that are just, in faraway countries, but they actually reach 52 million mothers and children worldwide in 66 countries.
Who's they?
Vitamin Angels.
I know, but are they affiliated with the UN or the world?
What they do is they work with the governments of all the individual countries around the world.
I see.
And what we love about them is 90% of the expenses go directly to aiding mothers and children, as opposed to people lining their pockets. So we give a portion of all our sales to Vitamin Angels.
Wonderful.
And again, they provide prenatal vitamins. They teach mothers about, they promote breastfeeding practices.
Wonderful.
They also provide vitamin A and deworming, and they also provide multivitamins for children a little bit over to help them thrive when their diets are lacking. They also help with nutritional counseling to build a good foundation for good health. And believe it or not, I was actually really surprised. They actually helped a lot of people in the United States. They reached over 100,000 people in the United States of America. Or you wouldn't think that we need help from in these type of things, but in the U.S. alone, prenatal vitamins, children's multivitamins, over 100,000 people.
As it turns out, Howard Schiffer was the founder of Vitamin Angels, and back in 1994, 20 plus years ago, in California. And it's a non-profit organization, non-governmental organization. And as Stephen pointed out, it's trying to combat childhood malnutrition around the world through vitamin supplementation. So for a good cause, and at-risk populations are their focus, specifically pregnant mothers, new mothers, youngsters under 5 years of age. So Zint Nutrition donates a certain percentage of their profits to sales to Vitamin Angel, so it's all good.
Right. So you're, actually, when you're buying, our amazing high quality nutritional products, you're actually helping others as well that are less fortunate.
In addition to helping yourself. Let's go to Tuscaloosa. We have a nice audience in Tuscaloosa. Rosie, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Let's see if we can make your day better with a $25 supplement gift card. Camu Camu is rich in a particular micronutrient. Is it vitamin A, vitamin B, or vitamin C?
Vitamin C.
Ding, 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 ding. There you go. You want a $25 supplement gift card.
See, she knew the answer.
Yeah, she did know the answer. How's everything in Tuscaloosa, Rosie?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. You got a nice little network of friends there, or what?
Yes.
You do? Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah. How did you find the show?
I've been listening a long time. Used to Duke and the Doctor, so...
Yeah, then when they left, we moved into a lot of the markets that they were in. So we're glad that we picked you up. I'm glad you didn't decide not to listen. We're grateful. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you.
Do you learn anything from around here?
Yes, I love this information.
Oh, good. Well, we try to do it in an entertaining way. I know it's a serious topic, people's health, but we have great guests such as Stephen J. and we had a new guest on today, Zint, Jazz, Mattu, and all these different folks from around the world, literally. So we enjoy doing it. We're glad you enjoy it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Were you going to say something? No? I saw you leaning into the mic, or were you just... Okay. Jay, Stephen, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming on today and helping to educate and empower us about Camu Camu. And I'm going to try putting... And that Yacon syrup, you sent me some. I'm going to try using it now. Go put it in my tea and whatnot.
Yeah, sure. And Doc, anytime you need more product, just shoot me an email and I'll send you.
I'm going to try the Camu. I'm going to put it in some oatmeal. I'm going to put it on my salad. I'm going to try different things. I'll let you know how it goes.
Mix it up. Give us some good reviews.
Sure, and I'll share it with the audience.
Thanks.
Go to zintnutrition.com. They make fabulous whole food dietary supplements. And they're in powder form. And there's a whole now array. And they're expanding their repertoire, and they work real hard at it. They take great pride in what they're doing, and we take great pride in having them as a sponsor too. Please give my best to everybody at Zint, will you please?
Will do, Doctor. Thank you. Have an amazing day.
You do the same, brother. We'll catch you tomorrow. We'll do this again, 5 days a week. We're live 9 to 11 Eastern time. And my thanks to all the affiliates that air the show, and all the health stores that support us too. And especially you, the listener and the viewer. Your health is your wealth.